Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company has committed to investing $40 billion on their new facility here in northern Phoenix, and it's already having a huge impact on the area, and they're not even producing their products yet. This new facility will create thousands of full-time jobs and construction jobs over the next 10 to 15 years. If you're one of the people that are relocating to Phoenix or just moving to be closer to work, you may be wondering, where should I live near TSMC? This is a three-part video series where I'll be talking about all the different neighborhoods that are in the area of TSMC. To the south of TSMC, you've got a grouping of neighborhoods here that are along the Happy Valley corridor is how I refer to it. This is Happy Valley Road here. It connects to I-17, and that's the main way. If you were to work on TSMC, you would take the 17 down here to Happy Valley and access these neighborhoods that way. Let's take a look at Stetson Hills and Stetson Valley. Stetson Hills is probably one of the oldest neighborhoods in this area. I actually lived in Stetson Hills from 2003 until 2009. It's a nice neighborhood that, typical stucco siding with tile roofs. Stetson Hills is an excellent school. It's a very walkable community, and you do have the Dean Hills Mountains along to the north, east, and west of the community, and that was one of my favorite things about this neighborhood was, we had some mountain views from our backyard, but when I, driving home from work each day, it was very nice to come home and see the view. And if I'm out taking the dogs for a walk, it just kind of elevated the feel of the neighborhood to have the mountain views. And since I was there, they've added a whole bunch of walking trails to this area along the mountains here as part of the development of Stetson Valley to the west and the Dean Hills Recreation Area. They installed all of these trails here. It's a great way to get out and get some exercise during the cooler time of the year. The views from up here are amazing. A lot of going on here in Stetson Hills. You've got the Sandra Day O'Connor High School just to the east, and it's a very popular school. And you've got here along Happy Valley, there's a Safeway Center. This is a very nice Safeway store. It was one of their pilot stores at the time that was skewing towards higher end, very similar to AJ's Fine Foods. So you've got a nice grocery store here. There's several different restaurants. There's a gas station here, some fast food places. So lots of amenities there. And you've got really good access to I-17 plus the shops at Norterra and the Walmart Center here. So really nice neighborhood. Home prices in Stetson Hills are going to be from about $450,000 up to $1.5 million. There's some sections here on the west side that are much bigger homes. So there's a nice variety of home types here, some entry-level stuff plus some higher-end luxury. To the west, you've got Stetson Valley, which is another Pulte Del Webb development. It's one of the newer communities in this part of town. It was built in the early 2000s. Home prices there are, $400,000 on up to about $1.3 million. A little bit of commercial here on the south side. There's some spots that are being developed. There's a school that's been constructed here. So if you've got children, this is a great neighborhood, very walkable. It is a pretty big neighborhood, so it stretches over a mile from one end to the other. But newer homes, you've got some really striking views on both sides of Westwing Mountain and the Dean Hills to the east. This community does border along the Cap Canal, which is just south of where TSMC is being constructed and the 303. So you do have really good access. The Dean Hills Recreation and Dean Hills Community Park are really nice facilities. You've got a bunch of soccer fields here. You can, this is a good place to park your car and head up onto the trails. There's some playground facilities there as well. And there's a really nice dog park. There's a section for big and for small dogs. So lots going on here in Stetson Valley. To the west of the Stetson communities, you have the community of Terramar that's located at 67th Avenue and Happy Valley Road. This, very typical of the suburban communities. Home prices are going to be kind of in the $450 to $900 range. One of the main attributes of Terramar is its K through 8 school called Terramar Academy for the Arts. They put a little more emphasis on the different arts than a lot of the other schools in this part of town, as well as the Peoria School District. My two kids actually went to Terramar for I think about 2nd and 4th grade through 8th grade. So their mother lived in this neighborhood, so I have a lot of experience here. It was a really good school. One of the drawbacks to how this neighborhood was designed, it's got some really nice trails that go along the wash here, a very walkable community. There's some green belts and pathways so that you can walk through the neighborhood, but the school was designed with the idea, and I think most of the schools in this part of town were designed as community schools, where the thought was that most of the kids that come to school are going to walk, and so parking can be a real bear, and getting pick up and drop off for elementary age kids was a bit of a bear, and I know it's even more crowded than when my kids were there. So really nice school. If you're going to live in Terramar, this is a great option for them. There is a really nice park here, Terramar Park, that's got some open areas and playground. There you've got, here at this corner, this is Christ Church of the Valley. It's one of the larger churches in the country, and they have, I think, 12 or 15 different campuses here in Phoenix, and this is their main campus. You've got now there is a Mountainside Fitness here, where this portion of the parking lot. That's a huge chain of gyms here in Phoenix. You've got a Fry's. There's a Walmart grocery store here. There's lots of different restaurants as well. This area is just raw land now, but it's been developed. There's several more stores and restaurants in this part of this section. So a lot going on here. You've got really good access to everything that's going on along I-17, as well as up to TSMC and other parts of the valley. So to the north and to the west of Terramar is a community called Aloravita. Of all the names, I struggle to pronounce this, so I'll do the best that I can. But Aloravita is the newest community in this part of town. On the north section here, you can see they haven't even started putting in roads or anything in this version of the satellite. But most of this has been developed over the past 3 years. So lots of new homes, typical community. There's a lot of really nice mountains in this section here just to the north of the neighborhood. So really cool views, but that's a newer neighborhood. So if you're looking for newer construction, that's a great spot. Prices in Aloravita are going to be kind of started about $500 and on up to about $950 or so. To the west, the southern portion of this development is under construction now. A lot of the infrastructure is going in. So neighborhoods to come, homes will be built. I imagine you can probably move into some of their first homes in about mid-2024. This is going to be a very large community. There'll be a few different builders in here. One of the other exciting things about this part of town is on this corner here, you've got on the north side is a development, a retail shopping area going to be called the Trailhead on this corner of 83rd Avenue and Happy Valley. So there'll be a lot of fun restaurants that go in there. Plus there'll be I believe they're going to put in a Fry's store here. On the south side is a smaller development that has some really fun local restaurants that are new to this part of town. So the food scene here in Northwest Valley is taking off. We're starting to get a lot more fun and exciting places to go out to eat. If you're looking to live in any of these communities here, you've got access to that. Plus, to the west, there's a lot going on along Lake Pleasant Parkway. North of Aloravita is the community of Rock Springs. It's a couple of smaller neighborhoods here along Happy Valley Road, or excuse me, this is Jomax Road here between Aloravita and Rock Springs. Couple of unique neighborhoods. There is one section that has properties with RV garages, so if you do have bigger vehicles or an RV or a trailer and you want to store it inside, there's some really nice options in this part of town. It's one of the few communities in this part of town that has RV garages. It is a gated community as well, so very similar to the community of Terramar. And so Rock Springs, you've got really nice mountain views here as well. There is one of the nice bonuses. There's a fire station right here in the center of it, so if you do have an emergency, help's not far away. To the west of Rock Springs and Aloravita is the community of Westwing. It's a very similar community to the others. You've got tile roofs and stucco siding. Home prices in Westwing are going to be anywhere from probably about $550,000 on up to $1.5 million. There are some really nice neighborhoods along the northern edges and the southern edges where the community is bordered by mountains, and so there's some gated communities in here as well. Some amazing views in Westwing. It's a really nice community. I really like the homes that I've shown, and I've sold a couple homes here as well. So a really nice community. There is, I believe it's called Westwing Elementary, that's right here. So if you've got young kids, it's an easy walking distance. Plus there's some trails here on some of the mountains that are easy to access from the neighborhood. One of the cool things about Westwing is the location between the two sets of mountains here. So you've got amazing views, and there's several different trails that you can hike on. And another nice thing about Westwing is you're getting closer to Lake Pleasant Parkway, which is this road to the west, which is going to take you up to the 303 or up to the Carefree Highway, which also has access, takes you up to Lake Pleasant. So if you're into boating or just want to get out and do things in the desert, these communities have really good access. Another nice thing about this part of town is you've got Paloma Community Park. This is probably about 10 years old. It was built by the city of Peoria. It's got a really nice lake that you can walk around. There's pickleball courts, a big open green space. I believe, yeah, there's a dog park here as well, plus the baseball and softball fields. And so there's a lot going on there. It's a really nice place. It's well lit. I've been up here at night a couple of times, and with the mountain views, it's a really cool facility. Lots of ramadas for picnics and get-togethers and that sort of thing. You've got soccer and football fields here as well. So that's a really nice facility that's available all year round. To the north of Terramar and Aloravita, you've got the community of Sonoran Mountain Ranch. It's very similar, built about the same time as these other communities, tile roof homes, that sort of thing, HOAs. There is, it borders the same mountains as Aloravita on the south, and to the north there are some mountains as well. It's a beautiful community. I've got a couple clients that live up here, and they just love it. It's a little bit more quiet because you are further away. You've got the mountains to the north and some really cool, the Wash and the river to the west. So some really amazing sunsets here. It does border the Cap Canal. Not a huge community, but there are a variety of home sizes and prices. Home prices here are going to start at about $400,000, and there's a couple of sections with some nicer stuff where you could spend $1 million if you want. one of the drawbacks to Sonoran Mountain Ranch is that Happy Valley is kind of the main east-west thoroughfare to get there. So you're going to head up 67th Avenue, and it bends around and heads up to and it dead ends here as it comes into Sonoran Mountain Ranch. So it's a little bit further from things, probably about 10 minutes from the Fry's and Walmart stores here. But it's worth it. The drive up there, you've got beautiful mountain views on all sides. People do, because it's a little further up, people get going pretty quick through this stretch here on 67th Avenue. One thing that I think will happen is it sure feels like it's set up for the 67th Avenue to extend, because it's a 4-lane road up into about this point where it just ends. So I think in the not too distant future it will extend over the canal, and there is an alignment up here with the 303 for an interchange at 67th Avenue. So I have not been able to find any definitive plans about it, but I sure feels like at some point that these two are going to connect. With the way this part of town is going to grow and the impact of TSMC, we're going to see connections here at 67th Avenue and then 51st Avenue in between, and it'll probably cut through Stetson Valley. I'm not sure if there's really, just because of the nature of the mountains north of Stetson Hills, I don't know if there'll be any other connections. There is an interchange here at 43rd Avenue and the 303. I'm not sure if it will connect to anything south of here. As you go west from these communities, you will come along Happy Valley and the Lake Pleasant Parkway here. There is a commercial core here. A lot of people refer to it as the Four Corners. A lot going on here. You've got Target here on the southeast corner. There's an Aldi that's been built here. Lots of different restaurants and small chain stores. Lots of different big box retail stores here on the south, here by the Target Center. You've got, there's a Home Depot, I believe it might be a Lowe's right here. Actually, that is a Lowe's, and then there's a Home Depot up here. Well, maybe I might have them flipped backwards, but my map's not going to help. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it's the Home Depot up here, and you've got Lowe's on this side. Here's one of the newer Fry's food stores in this part of town. It's really nice. They've got all kinds of ready prepared meals and different cheese section and wine. You can go in, there's a bar where you can get a glass of wine or have a beer. So really nice Fry's grocery store there. You've got several big box retail stores here. So any of the main shopping you might want to do, this is kind of the hub for the northwest part of Peoria. As you head west on Happy Valley, you come to a community called Camino Al Lago. Homes were built started in about 2000, probably 15 or so, and this community's filled in over the last 5 to 8 years. And as you go west, the Happy Valley does intersect with the 303, which will take you can take it north up to where TSMC is located and the I-17, or one of the better ways to access the 303 from Happy Valley and Lake Pleasant is just to take Lake Pleasant Parkway north to the 303. But west of the 303, there are two communities here. Vistancia is kind of the crown jewel of what's happening in Northwest Peoria. This was a master plan community that's been here since I think the late 90s, early 2000s. There is an area on the north side here called Blackstone Country Club. It's very exclusive. You're a lot of custom homes on larger lots. Homes are going to be kind of 750 on up into 2-3 million. It's a private club. It's a really nice golf course. So if you're looking for more of a luxury property and have a club to join and play golf at, Blackstone's a great option. There are some schools here in Vistancia Elementary School, right in the center of town, plus Sunset Park. So there's a lot of amenities here that have, there is a community center with community pools and tennis courts and all that good stuff, lots of sports fields. So a good portion of the neighborhood has walkability to the school. There are some trails available, a couple of small mountains here. On the southern side of Vistancia, you've got the community called Triology, which is 55 and over. There's, I believe, 2 different golf courses here. My parents lived in this community for a while. It was really nice. Home prices in Vistancia are going to be from about $450 on up into $2 or $3 million up in Blackstone. But what's exciting about this area and for the city of Peoria is its location to the 303, and this part between Vistancia and the 303 is sort of their commercial core. You've got, there is I believe it's a Safeway store here. There's some shopping and a few restaurants here. There's a gas station. So if you need to go shopping, there's you can access this, or there's everything at the Four Corners at Lake Pleasant and Happy Valley. But most of this land here and a little bit further up along the 303 is zoned commercial, and the city, it's kind of one of their top 2 or 3 areas that they're pushing to add more development to and get companies to move and create an employment center in this part of town. So Vistancia is a really nice community. You've got mountain views and really good access to what's going on with TSMC, as well as Lake Pleasant to the north. To the south of Vistancia, you've got an area called Rancho Cabrillo. There is a lot of new construction going on. You can see in this satellite image there's land being prepped for roads and then houses. I believe most of this neighborhood's been built already, and then there's even more communities that have come up, and you can see there's a lot going on. So a lot of new construction in this part of town. It's got great access to the 303. You can head out to Happy Valley and access the highway there, or if you want to head west, you can connect with Grand Avenue, which will take you up west and north of the city. So if you're looking for some newer homes, this is a great part of town. A wide variety of homes. There's, I know Taylor Morrison has a community here with homes that have RV garages. So if you need a little bit more parking or for larger vehicles, this is a great spot. A good friend of mine is an agent here and at one of the new communities, at Scott Communities, and they've done really well here. They make a very kind of a nicer product than some of the other builders. We have properties here in this community. Prices are going to start at about $400 for new construction and head on up from there. Every week I'm talking to people just like you who are considering a move here to Phoenix, many of which have a connection to TSMC. If you're unsure of which part of town or which neighborhood might be right for you, I've lived here in the Northwest Valley for the past 14 years, and I'd love to hear what's going on for you and see if I can help you figure out which neighborhood will be the best one for you.